What? Happy New Year, everyone! How are we doing? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. You've probably already read the title, so I'm just gonna jump into it. I painted the Mona Lisa. Well, sort of. It was an attempt. This is as far as the camera's gonna stay because if it comes any closer, you're gonna see all the mistakes. In this video, I'm gonna show you the process that it took for me to get here, and I hope you enjoy it. Before we begin though, I want to mention a couple things. Number one, I know this is plagiarism. I did not create the Mona Lisa. I did not sign it off with my initials. This is not my painting. Number two, I would like to give a shout out to Daria Kali on YouTube. She's an oil painter. Her videos actually helped me out a lot because I've never painted a portrait with oil paints. I've only ever done it with acrylics. So this was my first stab at this. So I'll link her channel down below if you want to go and take a look. So yeah, that's all I have to say. Let's begin with this journey. This whole fiasco began last Thursday. I was ready to go and I was as enthusiastic as ever. Can you go? This is gonna be a painful video. So the goal for today is to finish the face and her boobage. So I've mixed all the colors I think I'm gonna need for now. Let's begin. And thus marked the beginning of a long journey through oil painting hell. This was my first taste of portrait painting with oils. It was not off to a good start. What the heck is that? Nevertheless, I kept working and I painted what looked like a very feminine, very bald Logan Paul visage. Fight me, Pitbull. I've really not done a good job with this eyebrow for some reason. I don't even think it's a part of her face anymore. It's so high up there. It's yeeted itself right off her face. On the original Mona Lisa, she's got no eyebrows, which is kind of funny because up until now, the only person I thought who could rock the no eyebrow look was Jeffree Star. Some notable things that happened. My paints were on the move. For instance, this little turd of blue paint was quickly charging across my palette. Its goal? Who knows? After that, I painted the neck of this young lady, and I must admit something went terribly wrong with the proportions because she was looking like an evolutionary descendant of the giraffe. She's looking a bit insane, not gonna lie. So that's everything I've done for today. I feel like I've aged 40 years just in painting her face. I'm gonna go to bed now, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. She looks like a man. And that was all of day one. Day two began with a bang. A bang out of my nose, that is. I woke up today with allergies. So today, the goal is to finish the bubbies and her hands. I've already sketched them out off camera because it took me so long to get the proportions correct. If she is looking kind of insane, don't worry about it. It's just because I'm waiting to add in the hair afterwards. So that's why it looks kind of like flat Stanley on one side. Anyways, let's get into this. I eat too much avocado for me to be sick. And then I began to paint her hands. This was when the reality of the situation really settled in. I was slowly succumbing to the absolute terror that is painting the Mona Lisa. And this really showed in the fact that it took me the entire day to paint her hands. Anyways, after they were done, I cleaned up and went upstairs to my cave where I dozed off into the darkness of night. On day 3, I woke up and I was 6 months pregnant. Just squidding. I was just very bloated. In reality though, it really took a lot of energy to wake up that morning. I was starting to get "are we there yet" vibes, and I was truly not feeling excited to start painting. I smell like oil paint. I feel like a paintbrush. I am the Mona Lisa. Okay, let's begin. So for today, I want to finish this part of her shirt. What the heck is even happening anymore? I'm so lost. I have to admit that painting with oils is worlds different from painting with acrylics. It feels like you're painting with butter, and that's actually kind of nice, you know? It's really easy to blend. However, what that does mean is it takes forever to dry. And yesterday, my dad touched this painting, and his hand was colorful. I beat the devil out of it. For some reason, I have yellow paint everywhere. Like, it's on my fingers. I think it's on my forehead. Where is it coming from? So this part, this is me attempting to paint that golden detailing on her shirt. Now, I need to give a disclaimer here because mine looks nothing like the original. I had to make it a lot more simple because I'm not that talented and my brain would enter the vegetative state if I truly dedicated myself to the entirety of this painting. Next on the list were those red sleeves. I hate painting fabric. It just never works for me. It always ends up looking like butthole, but for some reason, I think this was probably the best part of my painting. Then, without taking any breaths of air, I dove straight into the shawl around her shoulders, which in itself was pretty therapeutic, except for the color of the paint. That nauseating greenish gray color made me almost barf on 3 separate occasions. I could smell how ugly it looked. But other than that, I actually had fun painting it. And I was slowly gaining confidence with this new medium. I was on my grind! So it's the end of day 3. I actually got a lot done today. Pretty proud of myself, not gonna lie. Tomorrow, we try to finish everything. She's looking bald, obviously, so I'm gonna put in the hair, and then we'll do the background, and then we'll call it a day. This sweater is an absolute mess. There is paint all over it. It's just disgusting. Anyways, good night, and I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Day 4 came along. It was by far the worst day. I immediately began by painting the armrest of the chair she was sitting on. This was pretty easy. I mean, I am an IKEA connoisseur after all. Back to the video. I then embarked on her luscious locks. Now, the Mona Lisa has a very distinctive hairstyle. From one side, it looks very luscious and luxurious. But from the other side, it just looks like a mat of brown spaghetti. So while all this schnitzel was going down, I was busy listening to Taylor Swift. I mean, I haven't listened to Taylor Swift in the past 7 years. But for some reason, the YouTube gods placed her in my YouTube recommendation list, so I had to click on it. Anyways, I kept on painting. I was charging forward, and in the end, I succeeded in painting Jared Leto. Hello. So I've been working on Mrs. Mona Lisa for the past hour or so. It's looking okay, but what's not looking okay is my hair. I don't know what happened here. It just poofed out all of a sudden. It's like Hermione Granger had her hair cut by a hacksaw. Now we're gonna start on the background. This is what I'm most scared of because I feel like I could just mess it up completely, like get paint in the wrong places and it'd just be over for me. Now, this is where things got very spicy very quickly. I had originally planned on finishing this painting on that very day. That's funny, because that's exactly what didn't happen. Here's the thing. I started to paint the background. I first started with the stuff in the front, so the balcony she's sitting on, and that was fine. However, I then moved on to these red mountains in the background, and that's where things went downhill very quickly. Suddenly, we were tumbling down Mount Everest with no end in sight. First, I tried blocking in the dark parts. That didn't work. Then, I tried a palette knife. That didn't work either. I tried a thick paintbrush. That didn't work. I was at my wit's end. I didn't know what to do. I cried. I broke down. My parents helped me through that. Thanks, Mom and Dad. It was at this moment where I was just too frazzled to continue, so I called it a day and I promised myself that I would finish this painting tomorrow, and lo and behold, I did. Now, the next morning, I didn't show this, but I was in fact extremely cautious with the painting. I could not bear for one more thing to go awry. The previous night, I had searched up several videos on how to paint mountains and took extensive notes. And then I ate those notes because knowledge is power. What? Anyways, I began to paint the background, and to be honest, it was actually looking pretty good. It did get me thinking about how strange the background of the Mona Lisa was, however. In the foreground, we have these just fiery red mountains straight from the pits of hell, and then a little bit further back, we have some blisteringly blue water, and then the Arctic tundra, a barren wasteland. I mean, what Leonardo da Vinci was smoking when he painted the Mona Lisa? We'll never know. It was 3:34 p.m. on Saturday when I finished the painting. And now we're here! I would like to end this video with a quick review of what I did well and what I did badly with this painting. Down here, there isn't much wrong. I think the sleeves, they're good. The shawl, it looks like fabric, but it's very different from what's on the Mona Lisa originally. The photo that I was using had almost like a transparent shawl, and I have no idea how to make something look transparent with oil paints, so I didn't even try to attempt that. The hands, on the other hand, wow. I don't know what on earth happened to that index finger. It's just distorted. It looks freakishly longer than all the other fingers, and I don't know what that's about. I feel like there's something wrong with the proportions over here on the shoulders. It kind of looks like she lost her right shoulder. It's nowhere to be found. Something I think I could do to maybe fix this is probably add some more shading along the chest to make it look like a curved surface instead of a flat one. The face, I think the proportions are pretty close, but the shading with the paint is bad. And then the background, we're not even gonna talk about that because it's just a mess. So yeah, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I meant to get this video up on Saturday, but then things just started going very badly, you know, the background turned into a mess, and then my computer ran out of storage, so then I had to do some software gymnastics to make sure that everything fit on there, and now you guys are finally seeing this. So I hope you guys had a wonderful New Year's Eve. Love you guys the most. See you later.